Hi, people. Hope you can hear me. So, I'm Emmanuel Raj, mentor of Google Developer Students Club SRM Ramapuram. Okay, so it's 6:10 and let's get this started. Okay, so let's start with introduction for Google Developer Students Club, and then we'll move on to the main event. Okay, so yeah, Google Developer Students Club. What is GDSC? The GDSC stands for Google Developer Students Club. We are supported by Google. Okay, so Google supports us and they do things for us for the development of community, like in college communities. Okay, this is basically a student community, so it's named as student clubs. Okay, so that's what that word is GDSC. And what is Google Developer Ecosystem? Okay, Google Developers Ecosystem is a part of Google. There are actually two Google Developer Ecosystem. One is Google Developer Groups and Google Developer Students Club. Okay, Google Developer Students Club is for people of age from 18 to 21, like your college years. Okay, basically, and after your college, you can join Google developer groups where you can probably be till the end of your lifetime, probably. Okay, so that is GDG. So there are two things. So we are GDSC right now. Okay, so that is about it. And there is actually also WTM. Sorry for the background noise. There is also WTM, which is called Women Tech Makers Google. So it is also maintained by Google. Okay. So what is our motive? Our motive is to spread technology to people, basically. Okay. So to help people use and know about technology. So when was GDSC Ramapuram founded? Okay, so this is actually currently the third year. So it was founded back in 19, I guess. Yeah, 19. Okay, so 3 years back. This is the third year. So actually, there is some news for you guys. We will be recruiting new people soon this year. Soon, like as in October. Okay, so be prepared. So also a point, if you guys be an active member, so you have a high chance of being shortlisted. Okay, not selected, shortlisted. So stay tuned for that. And what are domains we focus on? Okay, so our main domains are AIML, web development, Android, of course, which we are doing now, AR, VR, cloud, competitive programming, research, and entrepreneurship. Okay, so there are many entrepreneurs in our club. They are having their own companies, and we will conduct many events in this year as we did the past years. Okay, so stay tuned for that. Some nice things are coming. So the events we conducted in the last tenure are Cloud Ready program. Okay, Cloud Ready program is like you guys would have heard about 30 days of Google Cloud, I guess. So that is a starting point for Google Cloud technologies, which only GDSEs can participate. Okay, so we did that last year, and this is upgrade for that program, Google Cloud Ready program. Okay, so we collaborated with Cloud Ready facilitator of our campus, and we did the Cloud Ready program. Many people joined. It was really a nice one. So that is a good way to kickstart your cloud careers. You can do many things in cloud, ML, everything. Okay. Then we did for Google for number workers. This event we did on for May 1, that is Workers' Day for the workers of Chennai. Okay, we did this in Ananagar, Chennai for the people living in that municipal corporation. It was really nice. We taught them about Google technologies. Okay, this was an offline event purely conducted by us. So we took all the efforts and did this. So if you guys have interest in doing things like this, volunteering also, you can join us. Okay, so that will be nice and helping in for us as well. And yeah, we did Flutter Festival. Like Android Study Jams is going now, right? This year they are doing totally about Compose, but last year it was about the Kotlin itself, whole Kotlin. Okay, and we did about Flutter as well because Flutter also comes under Google. So we did it like nearly a month. We did many collaboration events as well, and it was really good. So in the next year it was solution challenge, of course. Okay, Google conducts kind of a hackathon. Okay, that's what solution challenge is called. Like they'll give out key points, so we can use any Google technologies to solve those problems. Okay, so that is what Google solution challenge is. And our future goals are hands-on workshop and solution challenge. Yeah, of course we did participate in solution challenge. It would be really nice. We encourage people. We send people from our GDSC. It will be nice and expert tech talks. Actually, today, the person who we have for you guys is an Android expert. He is a legend. He knows Java, he knows Kotlin, he knows Flutter. He's literally everywhere in the nook and corner of Android. So he's really good. And we have many sessions to come for you guys. Okay, so that will be our future goals. And you can join our dashboard where you will get notified about our future events. And say if you are hanging up or meeting out somewhere, so you can catch us up and our future updates, everything you can check on this link, link tree, or you can scan this code. Okay, so I'll wait a few seconds for you guys. That literally sorry for my background noise. I live in a congested city, so sorry. So I guess you guys took a screenshot. Okay, so I'm going for the next. This will be put in the description or the chat box, so it's fine. Okay, so that's basically about our GDSC. Okay, so yeah, and moving forward, we have our Android facilitator Aryan Khandelwal. So I will give it to him for a moment of speech. Jai Shivas.
Yeah, so hey everyone, I hope you all are doing well. We are tracking our progress, and do I saw many people have started doing and earning badges too, and plus the big surprise which I was telling in the last event was that if you complete the full beginners track, like full 4 units, will be getting edge while recruitments, like in GDSC recruitments you will be getting an edge uh, if you complete full beginners track and plus certificates to every participant. Do complete it and just post your doubts in WhatsApp and be active. Thank you. And we will be starting recruitments in October end. Thank you. Thank you, Manuel.
Thank you, Aryan. So yeah, guys, that was it. So we are actually tracking your progress. You submitted your Google developer profiles, right? So we can track your progress. So if you complete, you may also get a chance to be a speaker in Android Study Jam series. So we are planning to conduct 1 or 2 more events. So you guys can be a speaker as well. So it will be a good chance for you. So try to do it. And so I'll give a short intro about our speaker today. So he's a good friend of mine. So we have met him recently. He's really a great guy. He's so enthusiastic. Okay. So he has mastered in Kotlin side. So today we'll be learning about some UI designing in Android app. Okay, so basically like that. And you guys should have heard about Material UI, right? In Android 12, Google released it. So he'll be doing that as well. So it won't be hard, it will be easy only. So, and this event will be available as a recording as well as it's currently streaming in YouTube. Okay, so you can share it to your friends and everything. And without speaking, I'll give it to the legend himself. Okay, the stage is.
Hey, thank you for the amazing intro. I'll just start my camera. Hey, all. So, can you all see me? Okay. So, welcome everybody. My name is Jesh, as he already told you. I have been doing Android since 2019. I started with Java and XML, and then I started doing in Kotlin and XML. Then I came to know about Jetpack Compose when it was in beta. So I tried out Jetpack Compose when it was in around beta 4 or 5. So since then, when the first time I tried Jetpack Compose, it was really confusing for me. So I assume any new people who are just trying out, for you also it will be hard for at the first time, but it will be easy as you go. So I tried it. I loved it. Awesome. It was awesome. So declarative UI was the future. I already knew it because in XML we have like hassles of managing XML separately and then UI logic separately. And then in case you have data binding in your app, then you have to manage that separately too. So that created many layers in the app, and that at eventually that will degrade your app's performance. So Google then started working on Android Jetpack Compose. It was actually announced with Kotlin when it was officially announced, when Kotlin was officially announced. So when it was announced, like for after the development, when it came to beta, when everyone started trying out, everyone knew Jetpack Compose is the future because of the Flutter popularity also. So without further ado, I'll just start up my PPT presentation. Okay, so I hope you can see my presentation. So, okay, again, hey everyone. I am a self-taught Android developer, both native and hybrid. I have tried both Flutter and native Android. And in my free time, I like to play with Linux operating system and kernels. So today I'll be talking about building UI, displaying lists, etc.
Just a minute. Presentation is visible, bro.
Yeah, it's visible, right?
No, no, you're not able to see the presentation.
Wait a second. Oh, sorry, I forgot to share my screen. Sorry. Yeah, it's visible now, right?
Yeah. Now it's visible, no problem.
Yeah, sorry for the inconvenience. So, okay, no need of introduction again. So today we'll be building UI, obviously, and displaying list and using material design. So Google introduced material design in 2015 to standardize apps looks across the platform. And so today will be, as you all know, that tablets, Gear OS, cars, TV, whatnot. Nearly there is every platform where Android runs. So with XML for developers to manage app for phones, you then watch, then tablet. See, because the different screen sizes and different processors, etc. So Jetpack Compose was introduced for building native apps for all the platforms with simpler UI. And simpler UI means when we do live demo, it makes building apps and UI very quick, and building it is also easier. If you have prior experience in XML, you would know like how drastic of a difference Jetpack Compose makes. So since Jetpack Compose is declarative UI framework, it uses Kotlin all over. So Jetpack Compose is written in Kotlin, and even for building UI, Kotlin is used. So for this, I hope you all have like basic knowledge of Kotlin. But anyway, in this session, I will explain you like what are the basic things like initially required for kickstarting your Jetpack Compose application. So for this session and beginners, functions, parameters and arguments, and code hoisting. These three are the main topics that you need to remember and which will be useful for you in the while building apps. Okay, so let's start with building app beautiful UIs with Compose. If you have like prior experience in web, you would know that there are grid layouts, flex, etc. to make like a structured UI. So in Jetpack Compose, we have three layouts: column, row, and box. Column is anything that you put top to down or bottom to up, depending on your business logic. it goes vertically, and a row is horizontal, left to right or right to left. You can see the order, right? And boxes whenever you want an widget or composable. In Flutter it's called widget, in Android it's called composable. Composable is basically your UI element, equivalent of view in XML. So if you want anything, any composable to overlap on each other, or any, basically you will get the what this UI does in few seconds. So these are all the three UIs, and Jetpack Compose also has Material UI, so it will also have Scaffold. Scaffold is provided by Material UI to Android. Scaffold is basically like telling your pre-structured application base for you. So if you want like an app bar and bottom navigation bar, you don't need to specifically tell Android to place your bottom navigation bar like to the bottom and clip it to the bottom screen. If you use Scaffold, Android would know like it's a bottom navigation, so I have to stick it to the bottom. Okay, so that was enough of talking. So let's build the app and get into Android Studio. Yeah, so it's visible. So like when you first, if your text is visible, I zoomed it in a bit. So when you first open Android Studio, you will have like a new project section. If you can see, there are two empty compose activities, like one empty compose and one more empty compose has like purplish tint on its top. This is basically Material U. Material U was introduced recently with Android 12. What Material 12, Android 12 is like it, you can and Material fetches colors from your wallpaper. So your app will change theming based on your wallpaper. So this is Material U. And I'll show you Material U is like a bit harder for beginners right now, but I'll try to make it easy for you. I'll explain what are all the colors you need to use, etc. And empty compose is Material U, Material UI, basically Material 2. And you can click next. Then you have to name your application here. So Jetpack Compose's minimum SDK required is API 21 or Lollipop. You can change it from here, and you can't change to Java because Jetpack Compose uses Kotlin. And you can name your application and just click finish to generate your app. So when you first start and or launch a new Jetpack Compose template, this is what you will be greeted with. I'll start from the top. This is in class. This is in compose activity. So in on create, then rather than having like view that have to display XML binding etc., Jetpack composes uses set content. This basically is a little bit different from Android's activity lifecycle, because in activity lifecycle, whenever what happens is if you have an app basically with an text or a button or etc., like basically an app, if you rerun it, if you stitch oriented or restart your activity, entire thing runs again. So but in Jetpack Compose, what happens is the set content runs composable every time. So if the greeting here isn't composable, this is a function which I told you will be required. So like for example, text isn't composable, that is used to display and modify etc. text, a string format. So if you just wanna change hello to something hi etc., you don't need to rerun the entire activity. If any state changes, only the Jetpack Compose will only recompose this text widget. In our case, it will be like greeting composable. So next comes this Jetpack Compose theming. So what I was telling, Material U. So what is Material U? Like if you want to go to the source, one you can do is click Control and then mouse click. So it will take you to declaration of the code. This is a shortcut of Android Studio. You don't have to like go to project etc. This is Material UI's Material U's theming section. So as I told you, like if dark theme is enabled in your system Android will take from is dark theme method. I'll zoom in. I hope you can see. So next, dynamic color. This is what material you meant, like fetching colors from dominant colors from your wallpaper. So this is like only available in Android 12 and above. So that's why we have to use an if else or a conditional statement, or else our app will crash. Sorry. So dynamic color. So it uses like SDK int and checks whether Android 12 is it's currently running on Android 12 or etc. So these are all the, before going there, I will like tell you what are the colors used. Like for dark color scheme, there will be a method called dark color, and for light theme, there will be a method called light color scheme. So these both use primary, secondary, and tertiary. Like these are all the primary colors your app will use. These all are fetched from your wallpaper, straight from your wallpaper. And additional colors can be background, surface, and if there's a primary, there will be on primary. So basically, for example, if this is your background, this black is your background, so anything on top is will be on background. So for example, if your background is black, like for my Android Studio is black, the dark color screen will be on background. You get it? And if you hover over it, it will show you all the colors used here and what you can customize depending on your business needs or your product needs. So next, actually creating a global theme for your application. So it is a simple logic when loop. It checks whether the dark theme is enabled or not. Then according to that, it sets the theme. Context is basically like, for example, if you run an app, there is an image and button in the app, but and if you want to show a toast or if you perform any actions, you need to know, right? The button needs to know where it's being run. So the context tells the button that where it is where it is being run. For example, your application has multiple screens like home page, login page, etc. If you press login button in login screen, this context will tell you or tell Jetpack Compose that it is being run in login page. So this is how you keep track of activities and your states. And this is side effect. This is basically like changing your status color, providing insets. So it was clipped to your status bar and it doesn't draw behind your status bar. So this is what color scheme was we provided. This is the color scheme we provided, material use. And next is typography. So if you want, like all the project section is here. I can't zoom here, I guess. No, I can't zoom. I hope you can see it then. So there will be an one folder and one main activity generated in Jetpack Compose. And if you open resource folder, you will see that there is no layout folder here because it's Jetpack Compose. It won't use layout. So what typography is basically telling your fonts or text in your app how they should look. Like you can use multiple fonts here, provide different letter spacing, font size, font weight, and this is how you can like label it like large title, small title, subtitle, body, etc. So you, if you like have like big production level app, you don't have to manually go find the text and change its size. You can go here, like change 16 to 6, etc. depending what you want. So it makes your making UI, it makes it easier. Yeah. So content is basically what we provided. Yeah. So like we saw here, right, in theming, there was a surface here. So this is what surface is. Like our app is currently being displayed on surface. And it will use the background. This basically means it will use the background color of surface. Fill, then modifier. In Jetpack Compose, we have modifier instead of providing different attributes to XML. So like for providing maximum size, if anyone has used XML, you would know that if you put 0 dp in your XML view, so it will like take the whatever parent is taking. It will basically fill the UI. So that's equivalent is here modifier dot fill max size. We'll explore modify more here. So if you are changing the color scheme, so since if you don't provide anything here, it will take the surface color, and we can even hard code like specify what color we want to use. So this will take the, as the template says, surface container will use the background color from the theme. This is the material theme we created. And next is we created a function. Okay, so anything in compose is a composable. Like just like in Flutter, anything is a widget. In composable, this text, if you go to the declaration, the best way to learn how to code, like how this new UI, in case I was a new developer getting into Compose and I don't know what it is, the first thing I would do is click text and go to the code declaration. This can be a bit overwhelming, but as you can see, even the text composable is actually a composable in itself. This is made actually by Compose, using Compose. So we can see like what are the things that is provided we can use here. So how it is being made, etc. Okay, so text like I'll show you UI. One second. I hope you can see. So we saw like multiple layouts, right? And you'll be thinking, what? How is it being displayed here? What is the secret? So the secret is preview. Like what you see here is composable and preview. These are called annotations. Annotations. So this is what tells and function that this is what tells Android that this function is a composable, and you need to preview it in Android Studio. This preview is basically when you click the split button here, it will display the thing you want to preview. So in our case, we just have a text here. So even this preview has multiple variables or methods that you can customize. For example, I'll show you. If you press Control and space, it will show like what are the things that you can display here. What are the methods available here? So in case you're making an app specifically for some API, or you are using an image widget or composable that cannot work in Android 5, I guess, 5 or 6. So you can put API level, etc., and you can provide the API you want its best, and it will show the preview of how it will look in that specific API. API is basically Android version. Next, we have background color, then device. We can check multiple devices here itself rather than running in an emulator, because emulator takes a lot of memory. One more interesting thing here is show system UI and UI mode. These two will be most used in your application. If you put show system UI and it takes a boolean, so if you put true and rerun your preview, you can see that it will display an UI, like how your app, how this composable will look in an UI. Okay, so if you set like, what was next, UI mode. If you put UI mode night, yes, it is basically, oh, I'll import it. So it will import an library, it will import the things necessary, and then it will show you how it will look in the dark mode. So then preview. My PC is getting very slow. Then I guess I should turn off show system UI and UI mode, which is taking a lot of RAM from me. I'll just stop the build. Okay, so let's ignore that part and let's move on. And in learning the layouts, 1 second, it's being built. Oh, it's being very slow. So we talked a lot by now, so that's why it's being built, I guess. So I can ask any questions if you want. I can answer your questions. Yeah, sad cradle noises. I guess you can feel my pain. Yeah, so till now, any questions, or you can see, or you can ask anything if you want by now until it's being built. Ah, wow! Finally, it's back. Yeah, it's being rendered. Gradle is very slow. Yeah. So we were talking about the composables in Android in Jetpack Compose. So okay, there's a text here. Okay, and what if you wanna add new text or new composables? You can go like okay, you can add one more text. What happens when we add one more text?
The screen is
Uh, Text composable and one more text composable.
uh,
So let's see what
Jay,
happens when we have multiple. Yeah,
just a minute. Jay. Your screen is frozen if I'm not wrong. So can you like,
it's,
reshare?
it's being presented properly here.
No, like, oh, it's frozen. Yeah, I'm getting the same from chat also. Oh, wait, sorry. It's not? Okay, I don't know. Sorry to interrupt. My bad.
Ah, no,
Go ahead.
fine. Okay. Okay, so here we have two text composables. Okay, so hello Android, the one that is being displayed on top, and one more that we created here. 1 second. So you can see, right? So here there are two composables. So that's why they are overlapping here. You can see, right? If you look closely, Android Studio will show you it's being like which one is being highlighted. So two composables are being overlapped. Okay. So like what to do? Now I wanna display it next to each other. So if you wanna display it next to each other, you will wrap it into row, a composable called row. So I'll just import it. Yeah. So what will happen now? I add it into the row. If we now rebuild it, yeah. So as you can see, there are if we since we use row, the text composables will be stacked next to each other. Now since there are no spaces here, it will look like it is being stuck to each other. So that's where modifier comes in. Oh yeah, I forgot to put. So if you put modifier, you can see like there are multiple options that modifier has. Multiple methods. So you can get the methods like as told earlier by pressing control and space. You will see like status bar padding. So one more ability like Jetpack Compose provides you is an easy to use insert padding. As you can see, like it has like both system bar and status bar padding right out of the box. Film max sizes is basically what we saw above. It will take like whole screen. Background is changing background color. So we can okay, we'll go later, but first we will like get an overview of every method that modify provides. Absolute offset is basically moving the position of your composable. Animate content size. See, Jetpack Compose even makes animation easier. So if you put an animate content size, like if you have like an image that you need to animate, like when it's being clicked, you want to make it larger or smaller, etc. You can blur the image or any more text. You can even blur the text or provide it border, etc. We'll go with background. And provide a color dot. What we can provide? We can provide side. Okay, here I changed a modifier, a background color of this with this composable. Now the gradient is very slow. I guess live building was a bad idea. The Gradles is very slow. Yeah, so now that is being shown. You can see like it changes the background color of this widget of Hey Android, Hello Android. So this is what modifier does. It is used to modify that particular composable or the look or state of that composable. So what if we change it to column? You will need to import it. As told earlier, column will put a bottom of every widget that is being provided in the order. So since this composable is being on top of this composable, this will be on top, this will be on bottom. It follows the same hierarchy of how you code, goes from top to bottom. As you can see, it is changed into column now. So this is what layout does. So okay, we have shown like how to do it, but this is not real world app. So you're not going to just display one text or two text and change the background color. And one more thing we talked about is state hoisting. What does code hoisting mean? So as you can see that there is a greeting function here. Okay, but we are not providing Android anywhere in this code. This is actually the code that is being rendered here, but we are not providing Android anywhere. So state hoisting or code hoisting is a programming pattern. Basically, you don't carry the data in your function or method. You hoist it. Basically, the caller. That means anyone who calls any function or method that calls you, the this composable greeting function, should provide the data. So this is what code hoisting means. So for example, we are just taking a data type of string here, and we are just displaying it next to hello in the string format. That is what this composable is doing. It doesn't hold any data or state of any app or whatever is in it. So it doesn't hold the state. This only contains the logic of UI. So this is what code hosting means, like providing Android. This is you're providing data where it's supposed to be provided in the main function. You don't need to provide here. Plus you can like change it whenever you want. You can do it like this, and it will change Android to SR. This function is not holding the data. The caller is holding the data. So you can even dynamically change the data here when you want. So it won't change here. You know why? Because this is being previewed here. So we need to change in preview also. This set function, this set content runs only in your app. So basically this is separate from your this logic. Anything that is being annotated with preview runs only in Android Studio. So when your app is being built, like when it is like changed into build APK, release APK, it will not hold this data in it. It will get purged. So you can change here SRM. You can see it changed instantly. Yeah, moving on. We'll actually display and list, which is we told we are going to provide, show you. Okay, so if you have used XML earlier, you would know that there is a recycler adapter and list view. List view is basically you're just hard coding in the value or fetching in the value, and list value stores it in local system. in a temporary storage in your app application. So for example, that example, take this hello SRM or hey all as as an item, and you are just displaying thousands of hello SRM, hey all. So app will keep in memory all thousand, which eventually will make your app slower. So that's why recycler view was introduced. Recycler view shows only, for example, you take your this is your screen example. This is your screen. You cannot see the hello SRM. You can see only hey all. So keeping hello SRM in the memory is just wasting memory. So what recycler view does is just keeps hey all in memory and removes the SR. And whenever you scroll back and both come in the memory, it keeps both of them in the memory. So if you scroll back and there is nothing, so it will not keep in the memory. It's quick and it even drastically improves your app's performance. But if you have used Recycler adapter, you would know that there was a hassle of using Recycler view adapter separately, keeping and managing classes, which IDs being called, etc. In Compose, we have two things. Column and lazy. Of lazy version of all the layouts, lazy column, lazy row, etc. So column is basically the list view, for example. It it will not it will just keep in the memory of everything you have. So if you have thousands of hello SRMs in the column, it will keep in memory of all thousand SRMs. So lazy column, you need to import it. So lazy column. For example, if you have greetings in lazy column, sorry, you see here what happened? Composable invocations can only happen in the context of a composable function. Why is it? So if you go on the code declaration, you can see here it's mentioned, but it is like a bit of documentation, so we'll just ignore it for now. The thing about lazy column is you can't straight up provide the data since it's equivalent of recycler view adapter. You need to actually tell it, you need to actually provide the content of it. And you also need to provide the state. So what column does is you can't scroll the column once it has like multiple items in it. So by default, lazy column also supports scrolling, which you don't need to implement it separately. So lazy column also has scroll out of the box. So if we now go to the Gradle build, we'll see there are multiple libraries here. So today we are going to display a list, you fetching the data from straight up on the internet. So okay, we have like Coil here. Coil is basically Google's image library that is being used to fetch image from the internet and display it here in the Android Studio. And there is a system controller library also used here. We'll look more about it here. Okay, so you're building your app for the first time. You don't have any idea how to build app. So what you will do, you will open your browser. You can open new tab. Accompanist. So what is this? We saw here, right? Accompanist. Accompanist is basically Google's main libraries used in Compose. It provides an awesome documentation for displaying or whatever you're going to use their widgets. So if you go to their GitHub account or GitHub repo, this is the URL. This also have provided. Sorry for the inconvenience. My
like
all of my RAM and temperature is also very.
Guys, the event is not ended yet. His PC crashed due to high RAM usage, so it showed like that. It's not over yet. Okay, so hold tight. We'll be back in a while. Edit Android Studio, it's already hard and yeah. Just a minute. We'll be back soon, so no worries. Guys, just a quick question. Like, just how many of you are from SRM college actually, and how many of you aren't from? Like, put a yes if you are from SRM, or put a no if you aren't from SRM, maybe. Like, just to know, not a deal that non-SRM students should come, but just to know, right? Now. Like, how many of you are from first years or second years? Because we are kind of from a different year. We just want to know how long, like how good it reached the other years. Okay, first years, cool. Second years are there, that's so nice. Okay. So yeah, guys, that is actually good. So we thought we don't go much, but it actually did. So happy to hear that. Like, try to share it with your friends, guys. It will be useful. Maybe many of them are not interested in Android. I guess I get it, but you see, right? We are doing like so much events. You know what? I just got an information from the Google team like few minutes back. We are gonna have a cloud event like really soon, probably in October or November. Okay, maximum in October we'll try, or November. It's really gonna be nice. It is somewhat related to the 30 days of Google Cloud and the other cloud thing I said. So stay tuned for that. You will get swags like you will get stickers and all. You will get bag, bottle, water bottles, pouches, books, pens, and whatnot. Like, it's really good. So try to stay for it. Stay tuned in our social media handles. Okay. So links will be posted in the chat box. You do that. Be helpful for you guys. And someone asked a question in the first. I guess I can answer that now. Yeah, I guess this is a question. Geetika asked, "How? Hey, could you also brief about how we can be an active participant and how to get started. Okay, no, not that question, I guess. Yeah. What do we have to know in order to increase my chance of getting selected? Please do brief about that. So, as said before, we are having various domains, okay, for our recruitments. Like currently, the domains are PR and management, okay, and technical team. In general, we have a technical team, and we have a Web3 team because Web3 is the future and stuff like that. Okay, we have a design team, we have a content team, like who writes content, etc. So, like, first year is a time for you guys, right? So what you guys can do is you can explore yourself. Like, you guys can know your interest, know what is happening, know what is a blooming technology, and you guys can uh, do what you like and try out new things. Okay, so that will be good for you guys, and you guys can start to work on something like a basic level. Okay, so when you start to do that, you will get to know like if that thing interests you or not. So like that, when you guys are doing, you guys can. Okay, fine. So like when you guys start to do like that, you guys can know how things work, what are the things, okay, what interest. So that if you find an area of interest, then you can develop on that and you can apply to our recruitments when we open our recruitments. So that will be the first step, and we will have to filter you guys because everyone is interested because it's Google Club. So you guys can have to work kind of hard. So yeah, we have to work hard. And okay, I guess our host is sorry, our speaker is here. Yeah, actually, you guys can even speak about Linux. Okay, in the near future, we may do something about Linux. I'm not sure. We have web development team. We have many teams actually. Okay, we don't actually take many teams. We take some teams and categorize in general. Like, say for technical, we take technical team and we use the people interested in technical for other things as well. Okay, it works like that. So depends. So we have many things. It purely depends on you guys' interest. That will be a basic briefing. Okay, so our speaker is here back. Hope Android Studio doesn't crash his PC, and is everything fine now? Good. I hope so. We'll give a minute and wait for him.
Yeah. So you can hear me, guys.
Yeah.
Internet issue here. That's why it got disconnected. Yeah. So this is basically the image function or basic image function which fetches image from the internet and displays it. So instead of the size, we will take an abstract image from internet. So I don't know when it got disconnected. So I'll try to tell again. The coil image is basically which provides an async image function that we can use to display images that is being fetched from the server and not saved locally in your application. So it's being loaded here. So what this image async image function does is it uses an image request method and calls the build method from it. and it provides the local context which you already talked about, and then provides the data. That's it. It's a very simple function. We can provide modifier. So to reduce the size since it's taking all of the storage. Okay, now it's being rendered here. So now what to do? It's showing a modifier. It is using a modifier to reduce the size of the image so that it doesn't take up all of the screen. So once it's finished, we can continue then. So for lazy column, basically, since it already has an scrollable function in it, built into it, we can use something like keeping the track. That was a this is a remember function that is used to remember the state of whatever the composable is currently in. So we can declare an variable. Val is immutable variable, so it cannot change. So we can name it. We can name it something like you can see here, right? The remember lazy list state. This is an compose function that remembers your lazy list state. So we can give it like if you press Control P, you can see all the necessary things here. So we can provide the state function takes an lazy list. So we can give like you can provide the scroll state. So what happens when we will display it like this? It will show like it cannot show the composable. Then how can we show? So we can provide a new function, a method called content. I'll make it clear. So this takes an lazy list score. Yeah. So what lazy column we did here is it takes an content as an new The current lazy column takes, since I'm using the beta library, it uses content as to display data. So instead of running and loops for infinite amount of times, the Kotlin provides a function called items. This is a Kotlin function. So we can provide how much ever count we want this function to run. So now that if we connect to our Android application and run it, just make sure you all can see, right? So this is an function that is being run 100 times here. So I'll connect my phone to the PC. So I hope you can see my screen on the presentation. Yeah. So this is my screen being presented here. Now I will run this app. So while it's building, so this is basically like this list layout in Compose. What lazy column will do is anything that is being shown in the current screen will be stored in the memory. Rest of them will be cached out of the app, and it will store in the temporary memory until it comes back. Yeah, so my PC is very slow. Sorry, that's why it's taking a lot of time to build. So you like I'll provide an additional resources that you can use to load Compose easily. If this comes. Yeah. So any questions? in Compose or anything that you want to start, but you're stuck somewhere in Compose, etc.? You can put in the chat box. I didn't get the question. Does Kotlin have an installable app? Oh, you mean like if you want to run Kotlin in your PC, so assuming that you are running Windows, you can just use IntelliJ IDEA if you are learning Kotlin for the first time. Or you can also go to there's a website called Kotlin Playground. The app is still being built. So as you can see, there is a website called Kotlin Playground. So you can run the Kotlin functions, classes, everything. You can learn Kotlin straight up from here, and then maybe start using Android Studio straight up from the start. Because IntelliJ IDEA is basically for you necessary when you're building Kotlin applications. Yeah, you see, we are actually using a lazy column, and we are displaying the images using internet. But one thing we didn't do is permission denied, missing internet permission. So what is internet permission now? So if you go to the project structure, there's a folder called manifest. So I'll open it and show you. Manifest is basically like the main application or main code that is necessary for your app. So anything that your app uses, or if your app is based, for example, you're making an Android game. So in manifest, you will tell Android that it's an Android game and not any normal application, etc. So since we are using internet, we can call a function called users permission. And if you see, there are multiple permissions here. But we need is users internet permission. Now, if we rerun the app, it should not show any errors. You see, like there are multiple images, right? I'll increase the size of it. Like one more thing, like most of you won't know, is Jetpack Compose also has a kind of hot reload kind of thing. If you use React Native or Flutter, you would know what is hot reload. So you don't need to have to like completely restart your application. Now we will remove this modifier here and then increase the size to 500 maybe. You see, so the image is being loaded here. Now if you scroll, like there are multiple lists here. So everything is being fetched from the internet, and none of this, only the, for example, your screen only shows these two images. So only these two images will be cached on your phone currently. If you keep scrolling, scrolling, scrolling until 100 comes, you can just keep scrolling, scrolling, and anything that is not being shown here will not keep in the memory. You can even increase the count if you want to show maybe what 1000. So we can put 1000 here. Yeah, so we can just keep scrolling, scrolling, and my internet is like working very well. That's why it's keep on rendering very images very fast. So, but if you look at the, if your internet wasn't slow enough or it was like fetching a large data, you can see it loading, but it is performing very well in my phone currently. So you can just see I have infinite images and without any lag. You can see the right, it is very fast. So what if you want to make it clickable? You want an image that you want to click and launch it to something else or etc. There's a modifier called clickable. If you press Ctrl P, it will show like what are the multiple functions that you can place here. Maybe there's a function called on click. We'll be doing an empty lambda and we won't be running anything here. So now we've made it clickable. You can just rerun it. And now we should be able to click the images. You see the shimmer, right? This is new Android 12 shimmer. Now our after adding clickable modifier to it, we can now click the images. Now what was the material you I was talking to you? This app would look same everywhere. So like what is the difference? So now if I go to my wallpaper setting, as you can see my wallpaper has changed, including all my icons. So now if I go back to the app, see my status bar, this, and if you look carefully, even my background has changed to like pinkish tint. So this was material you designing. I will provide you additional URLs that you can go and reference to. So there are like Google training. Google has multiple GitHub repos that you can use. And accomplished, we just saw accomplished. And Google Compose sample. Google Compose sample is basically like so many high level Google libraries that Google uses and to display what Compose is capable of. Yeah. So this was my presentation. These are all my social media handles. Is there any questions you want to ask about Compose? These are your queries here. There won't be any Gradle building in my social media, so I'll be fast there and answering your queries. So, any questions? Hope you all learned something new today. I'll be sharing this PPT with your facilitators. So, and host, they will provide you the PPT. So, any hope you all liked it. Other than Gradle building, everything went smooth. Okay. Any questions?
Uh,
Thank you. Thank you, Shika.
okay, I have no idea why my camera
Thank you,
is not
Mehul.
starting, but so yeah, they said it was a really nice one. The jokes were
Thank you.
really nice as well. I admire that joke seriously. It's really good. So yeah,
Yeah, those are
uh,
not jokes. Those are the actual pain of an Android developer. You
yeah, I
guys will
actually,
feel it too when you like actually get into Android building.
yeah, I actually can feel it because when I have a low spec PC and it really
Yeah,
sucks.
exactly. You can see the presentation, right? My actually like entire RAM was filled up.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
let's hope
uh,
someday we have a good quantum system, maybe.
exactly. I had showcasing like actual like proper use of material you. But if you like do that, I have to properly sit a whole day here just for building Gradle. So maybe next time then.
Yeah, it's actually fine. Like we'll conduct more events and we'll add you to our groups. And guys, if you have any doubts, you can ask in his WhatsApp group or in his socials. Okay, so
I'll
that will be
actually
useful
share
for
my
you guys.
social media handles again.
Yeah, please do. So he's really quick to text you guys back. He'll help you guys. You can tag his social medias for today's event, or if you want to ask any future doubts, also you can tag him, and he is really helpful. Okay, so you can ask him.
So these are on my social media. You can go to my actually you can go to my GitHub repo also. There are multiple Android Compose applications actually using multiple Google libraries. So it should be useful there. And I also write blogs on both Compose and Kotlin. The Kotlin one is under works right now. It should be out within a week. But Flutter one is out. It out. Learn from there. Any queries? Just ping me on my social medias. I'll just share the PPT in your college group. I'll share to your facilitators. They'll share it to you. You can take the reference links and what are the resources like used in today's presentation. Okay.
Yeah, so
Thank you for
uh,
inviting me, giving me a chance. It was nice.
actually, we should thank you for being such a great speaker for us,
Thank you,
giving
Aryan.
us your time. Yeah, that's nice.
As well.
And Aryan, like, can you please like share the WhatsApp things in the chat once so that we can finish this off today? So guys, yeah, we'll be posting this video in YouTube. It's already live on YouTube. So we'll share the video so you can rewatch or comment for any clarifications or anything. Okay, so we'll be there and join the link if you haven't and share it to your friends for more information session. And we'll meet you guys again soon. Thank you, Jay. Once.